Hello and welcome back to Kokomonster News. I'm Koko, bringing you cool news from all around our amazing world. Before we dive into today's stories, let's have some fun learning a few new words we'll hear in the news. Let's start with the word reach. Imagine stretching out your hand as far as you can to grab a box just out of your grasp. Reach means to stretch out or extend to get to a place, thing, or goal. It's like trying to touch or get to something that's a little bit away from you. In our news today, we might hear, a small spacecraft was launched on Thursday morning with the goal of reaching the moon. This means that the spacecraft was sent up into the sky, aiming to stretch out all the way through space until it gets to the moon. Just like when you reach for a box, the spacecraft is on a big adventure, trying to get all the way to the moon to explore and learn new things. Next up we have a special word, unmanned. Imagine a robot doing tasks without anyone needing to tell it what to do, like a toy car moving by itself without you pushing it. Unmanned means there are no people inside to control it. Instead, machines or computers do all the work. In our news today, we might hear, the mission is unmanned, with no astronauts on board. This means that the space journey we talked about doesn't have any astronauts traveling in the spacecraft. Instead, it's like a smart robot, all set up to go to the moon and do its job without anyone inside it. It's designed to explore and send back information to us here on Earth all by itself. These are the two main words I would like to bring to you today. Now let's jump into today's exciting news stories. Here's what's happening around the world. A small spacecraft, the size of a British phone box, was launched on Thursday morning with the goal of reaching the moon. If successful, it will be the first privately owned lander to touch down on the lunar surface. The spacecraft, named Odysseus, was launched using the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket from Cape Canaveral, Florida. The mission is unmanned, with no astronauts on board. The lander is expected to reach the moon's south pole on February 22. Intuitive Machines, a Texan-based company, has been hired by NASA to carry 6 scientific instruments on board to study the moon's surface and measure radio waves. Additionally, along with the instruments, there are also 125 sculptures by artist Jeff Koons and a chip containing a record of human knowledge on board. If the launch and landing are successful, it will be the first American mission in 51 years to achieve a soft touchdown on the moon. During the launch, the first stage of the Falcon 9 rocket, which consists mostly of boosters with propulsion fuel, successfully fell away and landed back on Earth. This is part of SpaceX's mission to make space travel more sustainable by reusing rockets for multiple launches. It marks the 18th successful launch and landing for this booster. And that's all for today's Kokomonster news. I hope you enjoyed our stories and don't forget about the new words we learned today. Keep using them and see how many times you can spot them this week. I'm Koko, saying goodbye and stay curious. Tune in next time for more fun news and cool words. See you then.